I like say so.
Yeah,
I like unsay so. Nothing wrong with that.
say sent, say went.
Say sont.
But
Lewd
yeah,
some. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Are you muted?
no, I don't believe I am.
Okay. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hi. Yeah, I was ordering Domino's, so I had to unplug my phone, and for some reason it has issues replugging back in.
Oh, that's rude of it. That's really rude of it. So, we're gonna be talking about something fun today.
Yep.
So, would you like to give a bit of an introduction of yourself, name, pronouns, that kind of thing? I don't want to
Hello.
forget.
For those who don't know me, I am Princess Tariat Tometeller, first of her name, keeper of lore, collector of tales, reader of fates, founder and leader of the Myceli Fae Court, and arbiter of the Lost Library. The last time I was on this channel, I didn't have a live 2D model. But you can just call me Pwincess. And my pronouns are she, they. And I
Alrighty.
apologize. I am eating some chicken nuggets from Domino's.
Wait. They do chicken nuggies?
Boneless chicken wings, but I mean,
That's nuggies, as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so pretty much we are here to basically talk about have a conversation that was sparked from a comment you left under one of my videos. Welcome back, Glenn. And
okay, I'll just heat up the nuggies after stream. It's just with the way my model is, my mouth just constantly opening when I'm chewing. Anyways, sorry. I'm so professional. Right. I'm so professional.
I mean, of course you are. You're an indie VTuber. You have to be 100% professional all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So basically, you were making a video. I think there was some subject you were talking about.
I was going over
looting Pokemon.
Yeah, I was going over a Rev video where he was talking about tomboys, and then that happened to have looting Pokemon come up in it as well.
Yeah, like most of the protagonists are within the uncomfortable range of like 10 to 15. So,
yeah.
but then I mentioned, oh yeah, but the Pokemon themselves, the Mon stands for monsters. So technically, if you want to fuck Pokemon, sorry for the vulgar language.
Oh, watch your fucking mouth. Have you not watched my streams?
Anyways, if you want to fuck Pokemon, basically, it falls under a subset of the furry, a weird intersection between the furry fandom and the monster fucker fandom. Because they're not actually animals; they're monsters. They're pocket monsters. And to quote a popular meme, "There's no laws about the Pokemon, Batman."
It's a law punny, Batman. Oh my god!
So, and the thing is, the weird part is there's actually like lore within the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, you had mentioned that a little bit in our DMs.
Canonized
like the fact that it's canonized, like.
Well, it really does come down to a interpretation of localizations, because in the remake of Diamond and Pearl, so Brilliant Diamond and Bright Pearl, or Bright Diamond, Brilliant Pearl. I have it, but I never actually played it, so I didn't commit the name to memory. But basically, Diamond and Pearl, the remakes, was an interesting remake because normally they don't make any other additional games. but they made an additional game of Arceus, Legends Arceus, that was in the same region, but way in the distant past. So they kind of used that as a jumping off point to add additional lore to the game. Let me bring up. I brought up the webpage. I can drop you a link to the webpage too, so maybe you can like show it on screen or something like that.
Oh yeah, I definitely will.
It's 2 screens and it's not enough.
It's never enough. I need like at least 3.
So when I was trying to look up this bit of lore, I found this website that basically it breaks down the Japanese release and the English release, and then also shows the more literal translation from Japanese to English, not the localization rewording kind of thing. So I can't read Japanese, so I'm not going to even attempt it. But
yeah, I would definitely prefer to work with the English dex entries and stuff.
Well, we'll talk about the dex entries in a second, because there is a lot of dex entries. There's a lot of dex entries that connect Pokemon and humans. But this is like so basically in one of the libraries in Diamond Pearl, in the Diamond Pearl remakes, I think the story might exist to an extent in the original Diamond and Pearl, but this is, I think, specifically the remake is where this site is getting its information from. So the literal translation. Let me move this web page to the screen that has my camera above it, so I stop looking to the left. Anyways, so the literal translation is Sinnoh Folklore Story 3. There was once Pokemon that married people. There once were people who married Pokemon. This was a normal thing long ago. People and Pokemon were the same. That's the literal translation. In the actual localization for the United States, it read Sinnoh Folklore Story number 3. Sorry, not Sinnoh. No, it's not SH. There once were Pokemon that became very close to humans. There once were humans and Pokemon that ate together at the same table. It was a time when there existed no differences to distinguish the two. And the site does go on to kind of theorize that the slight rewording of things may have been tweaked to fit the temperament of some of the more conservative individuals in the United States. Because Pokemon was already deemed demonic, so, you know, they didn't want to cause any more controversies.
Yeah, I remember being in, like, Sunday school, and they were like, cut up your Pokemon cards. They're idolizing the devil. And it's like, holy shit, dude, I'm 10.
Yeah,
okay.
Trying to figure out which. There it is. There. I thought I had the stream open on my page. Anyways, just so I can see where I am on the screen. Yeah. And so basically, you could argue that they just mean that they lived in harmony without the need of like Pokeballs and like taming and all that kind of stuff. Because the lore about Pokeballs is a whole nother can of worms. Thank you, Legends Arceus, for establishing that Pokemon as a defense mechanism can just change their size.
What?
And so, yeah, again, may have been an issue with localization and translation to English, but apparently in Legends Arceus, when you're introduced to the Pokeballs, which are craftable in that game, that apparently Pokemon, they have a size they like to hang out in. But when you throw a round object at them, a defense mechanism causes them to just spontaneously change size, and allowing them to be captured into the into the Pokeballs. Not sure where how they become like tamed or anything like that, or if any advances in technology change between the Hisui region and modern day. But yeah.
What the fuck? That
And again, some people argue that it was probably translation error, but which is why a lot of when you're looking at the translations of things from like for Pokemon lore, it can be kind of interesting because because there is the localization where they might change around a few words, alter the meanings, and all that kind of stuff, which happens a lot between like Japanese games and the English release. That leads to various controversies, not just regarding Pokemon.
I have noticed that's a trend, just in general, not just with this. Okay, this article's not very long.
But basically, but even if you go by the official English release translation, they're saying that there was no distinction between Pokemon and human way back in the day, which kind of mirrors immersion break real life. Because when like Neanderthals and Homo sapiens they existed around the same time, and they did interbreed. We have some Neanderthal DNA within our genetic code, and so it's kind of along those same lines.
Okay.
I guess if for trying to draw parallels to our world, that because there are very humanoid Pokemon.
Like, I thought there were Pokemon that were literally humans before they became Pokemon for whatever their reasons.
Yeah, a lot of the ghost type Pokemon are the spirits of
Oops.
The spirits. I don't have specific references for these. I just kind of know them. Some of the weirder like Pokedex entries are like ghastly. Apparently, is like the possessed gases that are released from Pokemon, from Pokemon and humans as they decay. It's like the corpse gases. Basically, it forms ghastly. At least in one Dex entry, I can't exactly state where. There's a site that I was looking at, like 10 really weird human Pokemon connections, and they're all basically ghost type Pokemon. I forget the name of it, but there's a Pokemon that is literally the spirit of a child who was lost in the woods.
Is that Mimikyu?
No, it's not Mimikyu. No, that Mimikyu is different. Mimikyu is like a weird Eldritch abomination,
Pikachu or whatever.
Yes, it's an Eldritch abomination that wants to have the same love and affection given to it as Pikachu. I think. But I forget what it's. I wish I knew the exact names. Like I'm not so much of a Pokemon fan that I know every single Pokemon by name. There's over 1,000 of them at this point between and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to remember all the names. But there was one of the it was kind of like was a possessed tree stump that evolved into like a possessed tree. I forget the name of it.
Oh, it becomes Trevenant.
Yeah, and basically the possessed little tree stump, it's the soul of a child that got lost in the woods.
Okay.
Spirit Tomb is like
it says Trevenant.
100 is 108 human souls that are for some reason bound to this stone.
According to old tales, phantoms are stumps possessed by spirits of children who died while lost in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
I think what was it? There was Drifloon, which not only has a habit of kidnapping children, Drifloon not has a habit of kidnapping children. Apparently, were the spirits of wandering souls that didn't have wandering spirits that had unfinished business or something like that. And Drifblim, the evolution, is a whole collection of them forming together.
Okay.
Let's see what other really weird ones were there. There's another ice type ghost type Pokemon that you commonly find in like the frozen mountainous areas that are
Frostlass, right?
The no, well there's Frostlass, but there's another one that's looks like a giant snowflake.
Wait,
That
it was a
is
ghost type?
I think it's ghost type. That is all I know is I read this in the most recent game. I don't know if it's the recent generation Pokemon, but I read this in the Pokedex of the most recent game of Scarlet and Violet, where it basically is presumed to be the soul of people who died on a mountain, became this like ice type ghost Pokemon.
That sounds hardcore. But yeah, that is definitely establishing that at
And
least
there's
in
also
some ways people can become Pokemon. There are
and
other
there's also
ways.
like a golem like Pokemon that is also like a possessed suit of armor.
Golem?
Um,
Or not golem,
not,
what's it?
not actually golem, but like there's one that's like is literally like a suit of
Yeah.
armor that's possessed
I
by a
forgot.
soul and has
Golurk.
a
Golurk.
yeah.
And
But
Golett.
as far as like humans actually becoming Pokemon, there is one Pokedex entry for either as Abracadabra or Alakazam that apparently
Kadabra.
someone just woke up as a Pokemon. And then there's Mr. Mime, which is just a man.
Mr. Mime is just a creepy dude. Just saying.
But even in the most recent generation, one of the secondary set of legendaries, the Ruin Pokemon,
Fire Red.
the
It happened one morning. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into Kadabra. Emerald. It is rumored that a boy with psychic abilities suddenly transformed into Kadabra while he was assisting research into extrasensory powers. Yeah, like, I mean, there's the establishment there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, I was just going through off the top of my head other strange things in the most recent generation. There's the 4 Ruin Pokemon, which is a quest line and a Pokemon you would not have acquired if you didn't actually bother doing all the actual like going to school in the Pokemon Scarlet Violet stuff, because you get a quest line from the history teacher to capture the 4 Pokemon of Ruin. And one of them is wooden tablets and leaves. It's Grass Dark. I forget his exact name, but it's a Pokedex entry. Is a scribe decided to just curl up into a bunch of leaves and become a Pokemon. So apparently, you can just do that. You can
I think I saw that.
just cover yourselves in leaves, and bam, you're a Pokemon.
Was it? It was one of the more recent ones.
Yeah, it's right there. It's Wo Chen.
Well,
Second to last in that list there.
yeah, I got it. Dark Grass, Pokedex entries, Scarlet and Violet. The grudge of a person punished for writing the king's evil deeds upon wooden tablets has clad itself in dead leaves to become a Pokemon. Drains the life force from vegetation, causing nearby.
Yeah. People can just do that. Just jump into a pile of leaves and poof, you're a Pokemon.
It's like a snail too.
Yeah.
It's a person that got so mad that they just became a Pokemon.
Yep. And another weird thing,
Mew?
which
Len is bringing something up in chat that I'd like to mention. One thing I've always kind of had in my mind with Mew as well as Arceus is just like how both very likely can also be connected directly to humans, like that humans themselves are Pokemon even. Like, yeah, isn't Arceus like literally God?
I think it's actually pronounced Arceus. The pronunciation.
I'm a degenerate, so I don't really care.
How the hell do you pronounce Suicune? Anyways,
it's obviously pronounced Suicune. Suicune.
But yeah, basically, Arceus is essentially Pokegod. Like, whenever you capture Arceus in a game, you're actually capturing an aspect of the god. You're not capturing the god because it is like beyond Pokeballs.
Literally, in Tolkien mythology, this Pokemon was born before the universe existed, that this Pokemon shaped the universe.
Yep. It then made time, space, and time.
Emerged from an egg where there was nothing, then shaped the world.
Yep.
It's literally about this Pokemon being God. There's nothing else.
Yeah, Pokegod. And so obviously, if it's god of this Pokemon universe, clearly it made humans or helped pushed along evolution of Pokemon to humans. There's a lot of humanoid Pokemon. Like there's the joke every generation that like that at least one of the starters will get up on its hind legs and be like furry bait. There's two this generation. There's two this generation.
I really
Masquerada, I think. The cat, the final evolution of Weed Cat. It like stands on its hind legs, right. And then the final evolution of Quaxley, which I can't pronounce. Quaxaquavel, Quaxacarnival, Quax something or whatever.
Wait, which one?
Very flamboyant dancer Pokemon.
What type?
Water. The water type starter from the water type starter from the current generation, which I forget the number. But like the and then
okay.
there's the ghost. I see that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Objectively, how it's pronounced is Quacavel.
Yeah. Because it has Spanish roots in its wars, and you have like Carnival and Aqua kind of mixed in there.
Yeah, just saying, this is the first time I'm seeing this Pokemon in Smash.
Yeah, it is the very flamboyant bird Pokemon, Final Evolution, and then Masquerada, the grass type starter's Final Evolution, is a very mysterious magician that makes more than one thing disappear, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Sprigatito, right?
Well, Sprigatito. That's how it starts, and like every generation,
and then it starts becoming the furry bait right away.
Yes, people always make the joke that like just
and
like,
then it becomes.
Like, it's like I love this Pokemon. Keep all four paws on the ground, please. all the anti-furries out there. It's like keep all four paws on the ground.
No.
There's definitely a furry in the Pokemon designing staff.
I would say like the majority of the design staff are furries. Like, look at the designs. Can I just pull up the Pokédex?
Yeah, there's a like furrymonication is growing bolder each generation.
Oh, 100%. Like, look at Gen 1. What was the closest we had to people? It was like Mr. Mime.
Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo was pretty good.
Because there actually is there's a theory that human DNA was worked into Mewtwo. That's why it's so vastly different and more anthropomorphic than Mew. Really? On the same topic, tangentially.
Oh yeah, Machopline. Thank you for that, Grendel. I forgot about Machopline.
Which is the only other Pokemon besides Mew that can use Transform. So people say, "Oh, Ditto is just failed clones of Mew."
That's kind of what I thought, though.
Well, yeah, maybe you find like Ditto, you find Ditto around the Pokemon Mansion in the first generation, which is where you find out all the information about Mew and Mewtwo.
And there's like sketchy scientists there.
Okay, so let me bring you ahead a few generations to I think it was Pokemon Black and White 2.
I played that
maybe. I don't think it was in the first version of it, and it was in the second one. There's a actually maybe it was. I never did this quest. I found out about this through like looking up creepypasta shit about Pokemon on YouTube. It was either in Black and White or possibly Sun and Moon, but the Ultra version of them. I forget which. But there's this really.
I wanted to though.
There's this really weird, like sub quest, alternate like quest line in one of the towns where you have to find some Dittos that are disguising themselves as humans. The way you can tell is when you talk to them, they can still only say Ditto.
Okay. And yeah, I remember a Pokemon episode where Team Rocket was trying to get a Ditto to work for them, but it couldn't change its face properly.
Okay, that's also that was just that Ditto. Technically, in the canon of the episode, was only that Ditto couldn't do it. But it
Yes.
became the common thing that the Ditto can never do the face, which gives Nintendo carte blanche to just slap a Ditto face on any of their other plushie designs and say it's a Ditto disguised as this Pokemon.
Yeah, it's literally just doubling up on their merch. It's really smart of them.
And when in spoiler alert for Detective Pikachu, when the guy's aide and the bad guy in Detective Pikachu, when his aide is revealed to just be a Ditto in human form, it may have been super uncanny valley, but it was not the first time it happened. The first time it happened was in that weird quest. I think now it was in Ultra Sun and Moon, where you have to go around a town trying to find 5 Dittos that are masquerading as humans, and most eerily of all, one of them is disguised as the deputy of the police.
Really? Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Ditto infiltration goes so much deeper than I thought it would. It's a legit conspiracy.
And because of how people use Ditto, it basically you can breed with any Pokemon, any gender Pokemon, and some non-gendered Pokemon that actually have offspring, so non-legendaries, non-mythic Pokemon. And so it can turn into that Pokemon and have enough of its genetic code to create an egg. If it disguises as a human, would that mean that it could birth a human?
With Ditto, we don't know. Because, like, does Ditto just create the outside appearance of what it's seeing? Or does it actually replicate the internal mechanics? I would say it doesn't actually replicate. No, wait, it does, because it breeds with, like, everything.
It can be the male or female partner in a coupling.
It doesn't matter. Just make them eggs.
But that also begs the question, do humans hatch from eggs in the Pokemon world?
Well, I mean, technically, we come from eggs in our world,
yes,
but we're
we don't hatch from eggs
into eggs that hatch. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and
what,
you've seen the Pokemon anime. Ash's mom is totally banging Mr. Mime.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's no denying that.
They're in a throuple with Professor Oak and Mr. Mime.
I need to show off Kyunko's one art where she has with Ditto copying her. I don't know if I've seen that one, Len. What was I going to say? I forget.
Art with the Ditto copying her. I mean, yeah, and even in the episode where Ditto is introduced, where there's that one Ditto that can't really. My eye tracking is all messed up for a second. Okay, it fixed itself.
Oh God, I want to show that off, but like, okay, it doesn't show nipple.
TOS.
But TOS.
But anyways, extending to our world, like because furries, because Yiffer's gonna Yiff. Poképhilia is gonna Poképhilia, and Monster Fucker's gonna fuck monsters. There is.
Fuck it, there's no nipple. I'm risking it.
Just don't.
Oh my God, this art is really great. Check out Ditto for Smash. Seriously.
Like, if you want to maintain your innocence, don't look up any Pokemon name with safe search off.
You think I have innocence?
Oh, I'm not implying that you have innocence. Maybe someone in the audience might not want to see that shit.
Oh, fair enough. But I mean, I'll just call them cowards for not wanting to fuck a Bisharp or whatever.
I mean, as far as like mainstream appeal of Poképhilia versus just regular furry stuff. Markiplier did a Smasher pass for Pokemon, and no one batted an eye. Like, more power to you.
No. It's not even that nobody batted an eye, but it's that Markiplier Smasher pass where he said he would. Please stop. Where he said he would fuck an Arbok to millions of people, spawned a whole bunch of people doing Smasher passes because, we like doing those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Game Theory even did a theory of Markiplier's most ideal Pokemon.
Oh my god, I almost want to watch that on stream at some point. Also, hey Nova.
Sorry, I got hungry and I just had to eat one of the chicken nuggets.
Nuggies.
They have gone cold. I ordered it at a bad time. I thought I had enough time to get them and eat them before stream. I'll nuke them in the microwave afterwards. But yeah, like, as someone who does, if you go to my Not Safe for Work Twitter, especially retweeting a lot of Sprigatito, Anthro art, and a bunch of all across the evolutionary chain, and also a lot of Eevees, because Eevee is my favorite Pokemon, both in this kind of art and in the more say-so stuff. Because, like, I stream Pokemon, and I'm not here on Twitch playing with one hand while I'm streaming Pokemon. Like, I am using both hands to focus on the Pokemon, so I can separate that kind of stuff from,
like, I when you were saying
playing the game.
Like, I thought you were saying that you could only play Pokemon with one hand, and I was like, hey, I respect you more.
No. I said we're not on joystick. We're on Twitch/YouTube. There's TOS.
I mean, there is TOS, but you can't get caught for something you don't mention.
No, okay, no. I said I wasn't out here playing Pokemon with one hand.
Yeah, I know. I misheard you, and it's like, okay.
Unfortunately, it does actually require two hands to play the game, because one hand controls the camera, one side controls the camera, one side controls the character. So, yeah. It would be it would take a very talented individual to use those controls with one hand. So I could definitely tell the difference between when I'm engaging it as, like, public facing, safe for work streams, and when I'm a bit more saucy with it, which I don't often promote it, but I do have a Not Safe for Work Twitter, because not that I'm 100% say so. It's just, unlike Briley, my main Twitter is not always horny.
I mean, I've been less horny these days, but yeah, I like fighting with people. It's fun for me. Ditto is the ideal Pokemon to smash. They can transform into anyone or anything you want. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, this is technically the first time I've shown up on stream as what technically would qualify as my lewd persona, which is PwincessLewd, which is the Twitter name. I'm at PwincessLewd. If you want to see what weird shit I'm into. Anyways,
you do want to see that. I like it. There's a reason I follow her.
I follow. You follow me on both accounts, actually.
Yeah, I do. I like say so. I like unsay so. Nothing wrong with that.
Say sont.
Say sont.
Yeah. It's like it goes back to the whole thing. Like, people are like, oh, but the Pokemon in their world, it's just the animals. It's like, I mean, yeah, you can train a dog to do tricks, but I can't say to a turtle, use water gun and it sprays water from its, like, they understand human. There's a level of intelligence that is above your average animal, and again, they're Pokemon, not Poke animals.
Yes, and there is an actual level of understanding between a Pokemon and its trainer.
Yes, and especially when you get to the mythic type Pokemon, which is
so is for people who are scared of being judged. True.
Yeah.
Also, there are asexual people, and I respect them.
I'm one of them. Anyways, Ace Flux, so I fluctuate between things. Anyways, anxiety is part of my primary username. So clearly, I just have anxiety over people's impression of me. So it's like, okay, I will share what I like about in a sexual manner, but I just won't do it on my main Twitter.
Oh.
So yeah, I guess go follow me on either is it Lewd Pwincess or PwincessLewd? I forget which order the words are.
I forget. Let's see. And I'm totally going to be sharing my Twitter on screen just flippantly. Because, like, I don't post a whole lot of,
Speedrun getting banned from Twitch.
Right? PwincessLewd, no 80%. Underscores. Okay, I can actually... Yeah, I can share this. This is her, Lewd. Check it out. The interview with, Nova is going to be tomorrow, and it's really more of a conversation than an interview that I will be doing with Glenn later.
That profile pic is actually of that art you made of me a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I recognize it. I still gotta update your model.
Yes, you keep saying you're gonna do that, then you get distracted.
I know. I get distracted a lot because I got a lot I want to work on, and then I forget.
Yeah, and back to the whole like Pokemon, like when you get to there are Pokemon that like in the mythic category, so all the stuff of legends, which are technically legendary, but like they're a step above your average legendary. I think there's a few non-legendary mythic Pokemon. All the pseudo-legendary Pokemon are mythic, I believe, in some way, shape, or form. My character model looks super high because of my half-lidded eyes. I don't know why my tracking is so weird. I'm actually not the high one.
Yeah.
Mostly because I work in a hospital, and unfortunately they do drug tests, so I can't.
You can't? Is it not legal there, or is it just?
It's and without doxing what state I live in, it is decriminalized, but it is not legal.
Okay.
But
that
even
sucks.
so,
Legalize
it works. Even though we're like a private hospital, it still is like get state funding, so we have to abide by federal laws. Breaking character. I know. I'm not an all powerful archfey living in the Feywild.
What?
Sometimes.
Lied to me? The literal sex demon you're talking with?
So I'm really bad at being in character. I have this in-depth freaking lore. I'm an NPC in my own D&D world, so shit gets really, really fucking meta when my character shows up in my D&D world now. Because Twitch is canon to my D&D world.
Don't cause shit in my stream or fuck off, okay? I'm sorry for interrupting you, Pwincess.
I'm going on distracted side tangents. We've moved on from Pokemon.
Like, is there really more we can really say on Poképhilia aside from do it?
Yeah, there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman.
Yeah, I mean, kind of conclusion I came to.
I mean, Nuxtaku convinced a bunch of streamers to play the song on stream. We could play the furry monster.
Oh my god! Oh, that's actually could introduce people to that song because a lot of them probably haven't seen it.
It'd be a good way to close out this segment, as we really aren't really adding much more to the conversation.
Yeah, would you mind linking the original music video that he shared?
I follow them on YouTube, so I should be able to easily find them. They also made they made the Bowsette song too that recently went viral. Same people. They're good at making viral songs. My internet will just load.
And I'm guessing they're at least DMCA free.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Furrymon one would fall under more of a parody. Because it actually is like to the tune of the Pokemon, of the version of Pokemon theme.
I didn't actually realize that. That's amazing.
Or more or less. Let's see. Copy link address. But the Bowsette song that recently went viral, that one it probably would more count as an original song. Maybe, I don't know. I know. Again, I know that Nux Taku managed to convince. I saw a whole compilation of him convincing various female streamers to play it on stream. So I mean, I don't think you'll get hit by it for playing it.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything.
If anything,
too
it'll be
lewd.
a copyright claim, but not a strike.
Yeah,
I mean,
as long as you're recording this segment more than just relying on the VOD, you should be fine.
I mean, yeah. Well, let's let's watch this minute 40 about. Oh wait, before I actually play that, can I share activity so you can keep up with it too?
I mean, I guess. Join activity, sure.
Got it.
I'm also I muted the stream, but I am also technically watching it on the stream.
Well,
but I muted it.
I can just hit play and then we're not going to worry because we're just reacting to a music video.
Sure, authorize.
Share
Yes. Okay, yep, yeah. It's the first time I'm ever using this feature.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting used to it. Expand video.
Cool.
Is it playing for you?
Maybe I hit pause. I don't know. It's not playing for me.
Oh well. I'll just have to play it on my stream.
It might be my internet.
Totally didn't do anything on Twitter. Uh-huh. But I believe you've watched through the actual Furrymon. Gotta smash them all.
I've practically memorized it.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just hit play and
I'll unmute the I'll unmute the stream.
Totally up to you.
I dream to be the very best among the strong and brave, but masters of their Pokemon prefer to feel like slaves. I left my home, I tried to pass, but through the tall, low poly grass, as the strangest feeling in my
nose bleeding over a milk tank? Can't blame him. God, this is so horny.
Growing bolder, they say it's in the eye of the beholder. I say it's just the fact
the censoring of the stick.
Yes, the stick is censored. the no horny badge.
Oh, they're doing the sad cat dance too. Oh, this song's a banger. Of course, that fucking milk tank was also a ditto. Oh my god. That is good times. Especially the line, hair in your pocket.
Yep.
Oh my god. Good times, good times.
Hey, it's a surprisingly good song.
Honestly, yeah, that was a bop.
And hey guys, did you know that in terms of Pokemon human breeding, Vaporeon I don't know the copy pasta.
Hey guys, did
funny
you
part-
know that Vaporeon is actually really compatible with I don't have it memorized, but like holy shit, people can go with
Yeah,
I'm
the funny
getting
part
memes
is
and
there's
DMs.
the funny part is there is actually like several copy pastas that are like responding to each other. There's the original Vaporeon one.
Yeah,
Then there's a
Vaporeon
whole
is
then,
over
then
memed.
there's
Show
then
more
there's a
respect for
wholesome
Magmar.
no, then there's a wholesome one for Flareon, saying it's the most huggable Pokemon. Then there's a lewd version of the wholesome one for Flareon. Then there's one that's directly responding to the Vaporeon one, saying that no, Umbreon is the best one. And then there's another one responding to that, saying that you may have heard that Vaporeon or Umbreon were the best one, but no, it's actually Sylveon. People have a lot of time in their hands.
People have been arguing so much about which evolution is the most smashable.
Clearly, it's
and yeah,
Eevee.
Nova, we've been talking about that.
Clearly, the original is the best. Eevee, best Pokemon.
Really? No, it's Glaceon, and you will die wrong.
Well, Eevee is my favorite. Eevee is my favorite Pokemon.
It's totally valid. You enjoy your likes.
Of all the Pokemon, it just has so much potential. It can be 8 different evolutions. And if Pokemon would stop not giving it more evolutions, it could have one of every type.
It really Eevee really should have one of every type. Like, why the fuck don't they?
I mean, they introduced the perfect mechanic in Scarlet and Violet to introduce new types. Past and present.
Oh my god, Nova. Pokemon porn has better animation than the actual show itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, also want to know a fun fact about the Pheromon music video and YouTube's batshit system regarding what is considered for kids.
Yeah.
So
it is.
So for a period of time after the video was released on YouTube, YouTube marked the Pheromon video for kids.
Really?
Yeah, it took a campaign across TikTok and Twitter for them to finally go, yeah, I mean, do you want another Elsa Gate? Because this is how you get another Elsa Gate.
Wait,
this
Elsa
is not
Gate?
for kids.
Yeah,
Elsa Gate was...
That was the there's no law against Pokemon Batman. That was that meme. And that's kind of what inspired this conversation between us.
Well, yeah, like the Elsa Gate was
yes.
There's a bunch of weird videos on YouTube, always involving like Frozen characters or Spider-Man or whatever that were like targeted towards kids, but were weirdly sexual. It was called Elsa Gate when that whole apocalypse happened.
Basically, sounds like a 4chan thing.
I heard it referred to as Elsa Gate. Just the cliff notes was there was a bunch of really weird content farm channels that were like using like Elsa and like Batman characters and some Mario characters, right? All copywritten characters in decidedly adult situations, but targeted as kids, and so it got filtered onto the YouTube Kids app and created a whole controversy.
Yeah, that is not good. Hey, monkey, we're talking about fucking Pokemon. Like, not Pokemon, not like excited talking about Pokemon. We're talking about breeding Pokemon in the favorite kind of way of breeding. You know me.
Yes,
You know
we're talking about human Pokemon companionship in the
Frankie Tom
biblical
did a video
sense.
on Elsagate.
Oh, I mean, it was a while ago. It's unrelated to the topic. I was just saying that a animation like Furrymon ending up on YouTube Kids app, which it briefly was when it was marked for kids, it would just cause another controversy. I'm glad YouTube reversed that decision, but there are so many like brony animations that are not for kids that have been marked as for kids because YouTube is so paranoid. They think everything animated must be for kids.
Yeah, you really gotta.
I don't think Sausage Party is for kids. I don't think South Park should be for kids. It is mostly viewed by kids, but it's very adult.
Yeah, and like Happy Tree Friends. That
Yep,
I would not promote that one towards kids.
Anyways, well, I think the Furrymon video was gonna kind of bookend our discussion, unless you want to bring up anything else, or maybe you can find the original video that had there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman.
I don't know if it was the original video, but Nova did send me that meme that essentially started.
Okay, we'll bookend with that.
Yeah, I'll bookend it with Joker is correct here. This is what we'll end it with.
Batman,
yeah, because I had some structure. I thought I had some structure, but I can't hear anything. Oh yeah, I muted the stream.
Okay, we ready to go? We'll end this one off.
Batman, I caught a little Pokemon. Do you want to know what Pokemon I caught?
What Pokemon did you catch, Joker?
I caught a little punny, Batman. I caught a little punny.
Oh no, Joker. Don't tell me.
You already know, Batman. You know what I'm gonna do to that thing.
Joker, it's an animal, Joker. You can't.
Batman, there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want with it.
No, Joker. No, don't do it.
I'm gonna do it, Batman. I caught a...
Yeah, the original audio goes a lot more deep into it. It's not exactly super duper funny, like how deep they go into it, but it is funny. It makes me laugh.
A wild punny appears, randomly spreading her ears. Anyways, thank you for having me on for a slightly more lewder content. In about like an hour or so, I'll be streaming over on my channel. I'm playing Borderlands, one of the DLCs, the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. Tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will most likely be a D&D stream. Chaotic Lawful, the UPT Chronicles. I'm the DM.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
So yeah, that's my weekend. Figure I would end the clusterfuck of a topic we just discussed with a little self promo.
Yeah, it's pretty fitting, especially at the end of a video, because the people that'll actually listen through it will be like, "Hey, I kind of want to listen. I want to hear more about what they have to say. Who were they again?" And then you mention who you were at the end, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Yes, I'm Pwincess. Although I'm for most sites, I'm either Anxiety Archfey Pwincess or just Anxiety Pwincess. Places like Twitter didn't let me have Archfey in there, too long of a username. But most places, Tumblr, TikTok, YouTube.
Yeah, you got a link tree,
Twitch.
Right?
I have a link tree. I haven't really updated in a while. I haven't. I don't think I added the Tumblr. Well, if you find me on Twitch, if you can toss a shout out in the Twitch comments, Riley.
Yes,
if you go to my Twitch chat and do ! Socials, the whole all my current socials, all my current socials should show up there. But Well, if you have stream elements, it would probably !SO. Then my Twitch name.
Yeah,
or
but I have to
if
get
you
your
don't,
Twitch name right.
Oh, Anxiety Archfey Princess.
All one
I
word?
can type. Yeah, I can type it in. I can type in chat, and so you can just copy it from there. And yes, the word I typed in chat was
work?
boobs.
Bot, did you work? Yay, the bot did it. Now is it the actual account?
Saying
Yes.
as I heard the sound that means somebody followed.
Howdy, Bell plays.
It's a bunch of magic casting sounds.
Nice. I've got a bunch of Trump sounds for my follow noises and stuff. Like that one.
Also,
Thank you.
There's the special the specific Twitch one that's like the / shout out.
Yeah, I think I had scene.gg play clips for what's it? When I do shoutouts like that, but that stopped working, so I got to redo it. But I do have shoutouts working. But again, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast. I gotta turn these things into podcasts.
Sorry that my model kind of was all droopy. I had the entire time. My tracking is so weird, and I keep looking to the.
Fine. It's fine. We're indie. We're small. We're still getting used to VTubing and streaming and all that fun stuff.
It ain't a stream if there isn't scuff.
Exactly. And besides, if you do check out Pwincess here's streams, you'll get to see her model with the full animation, not have to worry about the choppy little bits. Because, you know, sharing the VTuber over the internet does kind of cause a lot of drain on the... Oh, God, you're cute when you're blushing. Does cause a lot of strain on the bandwidth of your system.
Yeah, my model is like for your blush, I'm gonna make the ears blush a little bit too. I'm like, oh, okay.
Alrighty, take care, Pwincess. It's been a blast chatting with you.
Yeah, I should. I'm in the comments sometimes. I definitely watch your VODs a lot on YouTube. That they make the work pass quickly at my day job.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
I do definitely like checking out your TikToks that you share. I'm not on that app too much. I really should be more.
I don't know. I usually post clips, but I started actually making content using the live 2D, not using the VTube Studio app on my phone, responding to videos, and I get in fights with flat earthers and transphobes. It's fun.
That does sound like a ton of fun. You guys should definitely check out her TikTok.
You see, Anxiety Archfey Princess on most platforms. My lewd Twitter is different, and Twitter in general is different because Anxiety Archfey Princess is too long, apparently.
I don't know. It just sounds like homophobia to me. Obviously, that's what it is.
I only added Archfey because I didn't think Anxiety Princess tied enough to my Archfey character.
Fair enough.
Anyways, bye.
Bye.